I went to the Tri-County area, which includes Duchesne and Roosevelt, and the suicide rate there is alarming. But people are working hard to keep it from going up.
Just this field right here has about 100 acres in it. This bunch gets 2 bales every day.
For Dan Crozier, tending his cattle is what he loves.
Absolutely.
But life on the ranch is not easy for him or anyone else around here.
It's home. Sometimes I wonder why, but there's easier places to farm.
Crozier, a successful rancher who's raised his family here in Roosevelt, seems to be living the idyllic farm life. But this part of Utah, known as the Tri-County area, faces a big threat. People are dying by suicide at a faster rate here than anywhere else in Utah. And Dan Crozier knows this all too well.
And I know 11 people that I've been directly involved with through my life that have taken their life.
Suicide made its way into his family and left a lot of pain.
Then you start questioning why. You know, what did I do? What could I have done more?
Talking about suicide is a challenge in any town, but more so around independent farmers and ranchers.
We have a lot of people that are worried about asking for help, kind of the pull yourself up by the bootstraps mentality.
If farmers and ranchers aren't going to the help, Jeremy Tubbs and Robin Hatch are going to the farmers, wherever they are.
We try to get into that population.
We're going to start with green. If you've got a green.
Today it's at the Cattlemen's Expo in Duchesne.
It's everybody's job to help prevent suicide in our area, and we just want to make sure that people know how to access help.
Robin and Jeremy come bearing gifts.
They just slide right over your firearm.
These long gun socks bear the suicide hotline number.
We want to make sure that this number is on an item that they're not going to throw away quickly, dispose of, like a brochure. Most of our suicide deaths are by firearm, and most of them are adult males.
They deliver the socks with another message.
If you are worried about a friend, just say, you know what, I'm worried about you. I'd like to keep your firearms at my house for a few days for you. Just like if you have a friend that's consuming too much alcohol, you don't let them have access to their vehicle.
They might get mad, but you'd still take it away.
But you know what? They get mad when you take the car keys too, don't they?
That's what I'm saying. They get mad, but you do it anyway.
You do it anyway.
In this community, not everyone can walk in and say this.
We're received well. I think part of that is that we are firearm owners ourselves.
We also know how much time you guys spend riding around in your pickup trucks.
They've put the suicide hotline number on other items.
Nice little flashlight, we can give you the batteries.
Things farmers and ranchers can reach for easily in a moment of crisis.
They could call that from their truck. They could call that line from their tractor, and they could talk to someone.
Jeremy says people in farming and ranching towns often work alone from sun up to sundown, or live far from neighbors and places to get help.
They don't spend a lot of time in town. They're not down at the coffee shops. They're not, there's work to be done, and they're just going.
Isolation is one of several risk factors for farmers and ranchers, even construction workers and oil workers here.
Suicide rates among farmers are higher than any other industry sector that we can pinpoint. We're not sure why.
Former Commissioner of Agriculture Kerry Gibson says another risk factor, farming has become higher cost, lower profit, subject to tariffs and unpredictable weather.
When you can't make it in agriculture and you are faced with the reality of maybe losing a farm operation that's been in the family that long, it's a heavy burden.
It talks about the economy, how great it is throughout the U.S. Well, in the Uinta Basin, it hasn't been that great.
When suicide hit Dan Crozier's family,
I could see that there was a lot of hurt and a lot of anguish, but I didn't know what to do to eliminate it.
he decided it was time to step out of his comfort zone and tell his neighbors to talk to each other and get help.
As family members, maybe there's a way that we could be more aware of who we're looking at across the table, or who we're, and recognize that, you know what, they're hurting. We need to get that help.
The state health department says Utah has the 6th highest suicide rate in the entire country. For 2 News, I'm Christina Flores.